offerings. InteractiveBrokers.com. Interactive Brokers, member SIPC.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, a lot of people are afraid of the stock market after losing most of their the different crashes, but now you don't have to be fearful because we have technology that will tell you when the markets are ready to collapse. That's right, the PT2. I designed it so that we get information in advance of any correction, the smallest correction to the largest correction. Get my PT2. Make sure this time when you are investing that you have safety on your side.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Boy, the news has not been good lately. You know that 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 24% of Americans have more credit card debt than emergency savings. Or how about this one? Adults under the age of 35 currently have savings rates of negative 2%. Wow. We need to set up a game plan. We need to get you back into the financial markets in a very positive way, and we can do that. Just join philsgang.com. We're here to help you. It's only $49.95 a month. That's it. You're going to be investing in yourself. That's what you need. And you got all the Phil's Gang material archived. You got classrooms. You got support. There's nothing like it. So as this market continues to go higher, not because things are good, not because the economy is doing well, because of all this stimulus, you're missing one of the best opportunities to put retirement money away now. Sock it away now. But you got to learn how to do it. Check us out. That's philsgang.com or give us a call 877-600-4264. Why aren't you using the spiders? Why are you paying 63% of the money you saved as a fee? 401k, you are paying in fees 63% of the money that you saved. That is crazy. Why don't you switch to the spiders? Join my gang, Phil's Gang, and do what millions of people do. Use the spiders. 500 best stocks in the world.
Find out more at philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 800-600-4264. Here at Phil's Gang, we understand the ghosts of 2008 and 2009 hang over all investors. In a recent banking analyst report, studies show the reason people are not investing in the stock market is a greater need for financial education. At Phil's Gang, we are your #1 provider of financial investing education techniques. For over a decade, Phil Grande has been coaching, guiding, and helping people build a successful trading plan for any time frame, from current retirement security.
I think what you're doing is extremely important. People don't realize this, but financial education is in many respects the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
Build your investment confidence with Phil's Gang today with daily webinars, alerts, and educational videos. And all material is archived for your convenience. Put the investment past and start investing with Phil Grande and Phil's Gang today. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Every single one of his medical bills, everything is just all taken care of.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes.
At St. Jude, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, or food. The family should worry about is helping their child live.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Boy, the news has not been good lately. You know that 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 24% of Americans have more credit card debt than emergency savings. Or how about this one? Adults under the age of 35 currently have savings rates of negative 2%. Wow. We need to set up a game plan. We need to get you back into the financial markets in a very positive way, and we can do that. Just join philsgang.com. We're here to help you. It's only $49.95 a month. That's it. You're going to be investing in yourself. That's what you need. And you got all the Phil's Gang material archived. You got classrooms. You got support. There's nothing like it. So as this market continues to go higher, not because things are good, not because the economy is doing well, because of all this stimulus, you're missing one of the best opportunities to put retirement money away now. Sock it away now. But you got to learn how to do it. Check us out. That's philsgang.com or give us a call 877-600-4264.
There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush. A 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
The CBO came out and said, look, the Affordable Care Act may be whatever it is on health policy, but it has bad labor supply and over 1 million people out of the labor force.
Actually, it took more than 1 million. So far, up to today, is 2.3 million came out of the labor force. Obamacare, right now, it couldn't have been the worst time. The timing couldn't have been worse to make this permanent. Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. We're going to talk about the financial engineering to Obamacare, and also how the market to this Obamacare, it's already not. We have the bond market. Today just made a new 6-month high. So if you're in bonds, if your planner told you to get in bonds, I told you this a couple of years ago. I said, you're going to get your face ripped off. Don't go into bonds, because, planners are funny people. What they're looking for is just all they care about. That's the nature of the business. It's the commission that dictates their behavior. So they're putting you in these bonds, telling you, oh, everything's fine. They're going to stay. Listen, not to worry. Inflation is going to be so low forever. Not to worry. And even though every day you went to the supermarket, you saw price of milk going up, food going up. I mean, it was incredible. The inflation is incredible, especially in the supermarket. But they kept telling you not to worry about inflation, that the bond market was good, and that's where you should put your money. Now you're getting killed. And the 10-year yield that keeps going up. Every time the yield goes up, you lose money in the bond market. See, it's just the opposite. As the yield goes up, the 10-year treasury goes up, people are losing a lot of money. But let's talk. I'll get back to that in a moment. Let's get back to the TPP. Remember this?
If I did not think that smart new trade deals were the right thing to do for working families, I wouldn't be fighting for it.
Really?
And it's proving that our friends can rally with us in support of 1.4 million addition, including over 18,000 in Kentucky alone.
Oh, really? They can rally. My friends can rally with me. All the politicians can rally with me. We're going to get 1.4 million jobs. First of all, you're not going to get 1.4 million jobs. You're going to lose more than 1.4 million jobs. That's a bold-faced lie. They said the same thing in NAFTA, but that's not my point. You hear what he said? Listen again to what he's saying about how all his friends are coming with him.
And it's proving that our friends can rally with us.
Sure, they can rally with us. Of course your friends are going to rally. If they're getting paid $200 million, I'd rally with you. What are you, nuts? $200 million what the congressman in the House got paid to sign this bill. These representatives got paid $200 million. This is not about you. When you hear them talk about how this is all about you, it's not about you. It's about them. It's about putting their hand out for $200 million. It's unbelievable.
Lobbyists and donors who really control the politicians in this country, they want it because they're representing companies that benefit. But the country is not benefiting. And I will tell you, that is really a bad thing. I just mentioned jobs. That is really a bad thing. That trade pact is a disaster for jobs. We should not have it. It doesn't talk about currency manipulation the way it should. It covers too big an area. We should do individual agreements with individual countries. And the fact is, Obama's not a negotiator. The last person I want negotiating for me is President Obama, and he's got free wheel on this thing. So it's absolutely a disaster for the country and a disaster for business and jobs.
But it's not a disaster for the politicians. It is incredible. $200 million. What a week this has been. We got a double whammy now. First, the Obamacare. 8.6 people who didn't have health care now going to get their health care off the backs of 300 million Americans. Or let's put it this way, off the backs of the 87 million Americans of the 300 million who are paying for insurance. Their insurance costs are going to triple even more so that we can take care of the 8.7 million. On top of this now, we get hit with Obamacare, where this is going to be permanent. What a double whammy this was. And if you take a look at these representatives, you would get paid for a yes vote or you get paid for a no vote. Either way, they're going to pay you. Take your choice. So John Bonner, he received $5.3 million if he voted yes. If he voted yes. Then he got, again, we're talking about the TPP. Now, Kevin McCarthy, he received $2 million for his yes vote. Paul Ryan, $2.4 million. Ever wonder how these guys are so wealthy when they leave office? How they make so much money? Isn't it crazy? Pat Tiber, he got paid $1.6 million for a yes vote. This is terrible. Hoyer received $1.6 million. But here's the interesting thing. Take Joe Crowley. They said, look, we'll give you $1.3 million for a yes vote. We'll give you $72,000 for a no vote. But he still voted no against the TPA, against the TPP. He voted no. So he could have picked up $1.3 million, but instead he took $72,000 and voted against it. Now you go look up this guy and you see he's got a hell of a net worth. So it's not that he's a good guy. Another guy here, a Democrat in Florida where I am, Murphy, he received $1.1 million if he voted yes. He would get $213,000 if he voted no, but he voted no. So he picked up $213,000. $213,000. How much do you make a year? How much overtime have you gotten this week? Yeah, that's a lot of money, $213,000. How would you like to be in a position you can get paid for a yes or no vote? Either way, you win. Isn't that amazing? This is crazy. So, and then you had Mulvaney. He received $541,000 for a yes vote. $500,000 for a yes vote. Isn't that amazing? Another guy, Harris, got $254,000. And it goes on and on. This is our country. This is what they're doing. Do you really think these congressmen do anything for us? Of course not. This TPA is going to be terrible. This TPP, rather, is going to be. We're going to lose more jobs. And by the way, let's look where all this money came from, the big money. The real big money. Most of the big money came from Wall Street. Oh, gee, that's a surprise. From Wall Street. They donated $11 million for a yes vote. And these other big banking companies donated another $12 million. But most of the money came from Wall Street. And just incredible, isn't it? Makes you sick, doesn't it? Hey, I'm going to have on Barney Frank. We're going to talk about his financial reform. Remember, in August, we start with the new rule buying a home. So from now on, you don't use the old HUD paperwork to close. You got all this new paperwork. And you know how you used to be able to close a house in 30 days? It's going to take you 90 days. From the day you signed a contract to close your home, it's going to cost you 90 days before you can buy that home. The settlement statement is going to delay the closing on your home for 90 days because of Barney Frank. We're going to talk to Barney Frank and ask him how could he be so stupid, this difficult, this terrible for people to close on a home, for a home transaction. It's unbelievable. Hey, we'll be right back. Take a look at some stocks. 15 past the hour here on Phil's Gang. Join my gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com. them a call at 877-600-GANG. Here at Phil's Gang, we understand the ghosts of 2008 and 2009 hang over all investors. In a recent banking analyst report, studies show the reason people are not investing in the stock market is a greater need for financial education. At Phil's Gang, we are your #1 provider of financial investing education techniques. For over a decade, Phil Grande has been coaching, guiding, and helping people build a successful trading plan for any time frame. Income to retirement security.
I think what you're doing is extremely important. People don't realize this, but financial education is in many respects the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
Build your investment confidence with Phil's Gang today with daily webinars, alerts, and educational videos. And all material is archived for your convenience. Put the investment ghosts in the past and start Phil Grande and Phil's Gang today. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com. 77 Gang. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, this is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. What makes investors around the world successful? They're savvy. They do their homework. They look for the best deal. And they philsgang.com and Interactive Brokers.
Professional investors know that Interactive Brokers provides the edge they need in today's markets. And financing rates, along with best price execution and a focus on advanced trading technology and low costs that help maximize returns. At Interactive Brokers, not only do professional investors get direct market access to stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, and funds on over 100 markets in 23 countries from a single IB universal account. Also benefit from a wide array of advanced trading technology. Go to Interactive and improve your returns today.
philgang.com chooses interactivebroker.com. Check out Interactive Brokers for more information and be sure to tell them Phil Grande sent you. That's interactivebrokers.com. $1 million to create a green job? What are you, nuts? That's what it costs. $12 million for one green job. 2,298 green jobs were created under Obama during his crony capitalism days. That is insane. He promised 5 million new green jobs. 26 billion gone. Join my gang so you know which stocks.
philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-264. It's clear the real undisputed champion in social and financial talk is Phil Grande and the Phil's Gang Show.
You know, Obama got the last laugh because another fantastic jobs report came out.
The last laugh is on you, Bill. Think about this. 232,000 jobs created. How about this? We lost 200,000 full-time jobs to get those 232,000 jobs. And worse, we gained 437,000 lousy jobs, mostly minimum wage. No, the last laugh is on.
Phil Grande delivers business and financial news with an insider's perspective on Wall Street and the economy.
They're going to keep trying to push these banks higher, offset what's going on. And the earnings are all driven by, of course, buybacks. So you got all this stuff going on, which makes for a perfect storm.
That's the one and only Phil Grande and the Phil's Gang Show.
Join me weekdays at 3 p.m. for the best. That's weekdays every day at 3 p.m. here on philsgang.com.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Professional traders and investors know that Interactive Brokers provides the edge they need in today's markets. Low commissions and financing rates, along execution and a focus on advanced trading technology, and low costs that help maximize returns. At Interactive Brokers, not only do professional traders and investors get direct market access to stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, and funds on over 100 markets in 23 countries from a single IB universal account. They also benefit from a wide array of advanced trading technology, options trading tools to sophisticated risk management and much more. Keep a pulse on daily market activity with commentary with IB's Traders Insight, which delivers market analysis from professional traders in the industry directly to your screen. Visit us at interactivebrokers.com to learn more about these offerings. interactivebrokers.com. Interactive Brokers, member SIPC. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out Phil's or give us a call, 877-600-4264.
The Wall Street Shuffle.
Are you or are you not going to provide this committee the emails as indicated in this subpoena? Yes or no?
We have never said we wouldn't.
I'm asking you yes or no.
We are going to respond to the subpoena.
No, sir.
Yes, we are going to respond to the subpoena.
Yeah, right. That's Koskin, head of the IRS, commissioner of the IRS. And as he was saying that, there was people actually in his office 3 weeks before that destroying all the evidence, all the emails.
Information about thousands more emails in the IRS targeting scandal destroyed during the investigation. Thousands of emails vanished.
After an order to preserve evidence, the Internal Revenue Service says it erased hundreds of backup tapes containing tens of thousands of Lois Lerner emails. Testifying before the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration's office says there are still up to 24,000 unrecovered Lerner emails. After promising to provide Congress all of Lerner's emails, IRS Commissioner John Koskinen said his lost or destroyed 2 years' worth of her electronic correspondence. Koskinen pledged he would attempt to recover those lost emails. However, the Inspector General says the IRS failed to search several sources for Lerner emails, like backup tapes, hard drives, and Lerner laptops, sources that he says ultimately produced previously undisclosed emails.
This investigation tens of millions of taxpayer dollars in a scavenger hunt for any possible evidence to support Republican accusations against Lois Lerner in the White House.
That's Cummings, Representative Cummings. Now, can you imagine this? Scavenger hunt. There's no evidence. Really? Well, because they destroyed all the evidence. That's why there's no evidence. How disgusting. This guy is so disgusting. This guy's coming, doesn't he? Unbelievable. This is just terrible. This Lois Lerner should be in jail by now. She's not going to jail. She's not going to jail. Hey, on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, I get a kick out of this. High Court Saves Health Law. It should be entitled High Court Screwed America. That's right. And what's going to happen with this health care? People have no idea the connection between Obamacare, this health care, and the economy. They just don't get it. They just don't understand it. That's the problem. And I'm going to try to get you to understand how severe this is and how it's going to hurt you, your retirement. This is a terrible thing that happened yesterday, making this permanent. We are not going to be able to grow as an economy. You can't. It's impossible. And we're going to get at least a 20% correction. And that's going to be fine for gang members. Matter of fact, let's go Stock Corner.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video. Go to philsgang.com, traffic, and check out Phil's free videos on the market, economy, and current events.
By the way, I have a brand new video. Go to my homepage, go to philsgang.com, or go to Phil's video. Go on YouTube, just go to Phil's Gang YouTube, and there it is. Brand new video. It explains my take on the market, when I think the market's going to collapse. Just check it out. It's really a wonderful video, okay? It's just, I try to break everything down to what's going on, and so that everybody will understand it, because it can get very complicated. I want to show you something. You know, I keep telling you about the problem with your 401k is you can't make money when the market goes down. And how sad that is. Would you ever buy a car with no reverse? Of course not. But you're buying in a 401k, a mutual fund, a basket of stocks. You are not allowed, if the market starts crashing at 9:30 in the morning and it can go down 10% by noon, you're not allowed to get out until after the market closes the next day. Isn't that ridiculous? You're not allowed to say, you know, I want to put a stop in I have in my retirement account, my 401k, I got $200,000. If it drops below a certain point, I want it kick and automatically takes me out, so I can set up exactly how much money I'm going to risk. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that crazy? Why would you put your money in a 401k when you can't at least do that? You mean you can't control your own money and say, if the market starts to pull back, if you see my account starting to contract more than 5%, I want an automatic out. You can't do that. But there is an alternative to that, what they call stops. And you can do that with your 401k. You can do that with any stock. But more important, you got to know when the market is going to start turning. You don't want to be sitting there the same day, and then all of a sudden the market starts dropping. You don't know what to do. You got to be ahead of it. And here at Phil's Gang, we're always ahead of it. Our technology puts us ahead of it. And you got to be ahead of it. Because today, what's going on with this Obamacare, we've been financially engineered. Our stock market was financially engineered by Gruber and by Obama. You know those two characters. Here's what happened. Right now, we got a problem because 72% of Americans really believe the economy is going to be in a downturn. They're just starting to figure it out, that this thing has been a big phony stock market, phony everything. Now, the big trouble we have, as I say, is the 10-year Treasury spiking. We're up to 2.49%. That's terrible. That means interest rates are going up on the housing market big time. And that's going to crush our economy because that's all we do is buy houses. Here's where the trouble is. When Obama and Gruber, these were the architects of Obamacare. Remember how they lied about Gruber? So, oh, no, he wasn't here. No, he wasn't the architect. Remember Pelosi, bold-faced lies? Oh, I don't even know who this man is. And there's records that show she met with him something like 35 times. And she didn't know anything about the man. Well, he was the architect. Obama was the architect. Both of them. And when they put this bill together, they knew more than 8 million people would be enrolled in this bill. But they also knew this would really hurt this country. That those 8 million people would really destroy the economy to get these subsidies. Now, explain that when I get back and what's going to happen to you if you're in the stock market because of this Obamacare. We'll be right back. Join my gang tonight, Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
If you want to generate extra income or basically secure your financial, you should join philsgang.com and get the best investment education available on the market today. For only $49.95 a month, you'll have complete access to Phil's daily live webinar classes, alerts, educational videos, and much, much more. At philsgang.com, there are no contracts and no hidden fees, just straightforward, no-nonsense market investment knowledge that only Phil Grande can deliver. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Why aren't you using the spiders? Why are you paying 63% of the money you saved as a fee? 401k, you are paying in fees 63% of the money that you saved. That is crazy. Why don't you switch to the spiders? Join my gang, Phil's Gang, and do what millions of people do. Use the spiders. 500 best stocks in the world.
Find out more at philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Boy, the news has not been good lately. You know that 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 24% of Americans have more credit card debt than emergency savings. Or how about this one? Adults under the age of 35 currently have savings rates of negative 2%. Wow. We need to set up a game plan. We need to get you back into the financial markets in a very positive way. And we can do that. Just join philsgang.com. We're here to help you. It's only $49.95 a month. That's it. You're going to be investing in yourself. That's what you need. And you got Gang material archive. You got classrooms. You got support. There's nothing like it. So as this market continues to go higher, not because things are good, not because the economy is doing well, because of all this stimulus, you're missing one of the best opportunities to put retirement money away now. Sock it away now, but you got to learn how to do it. Check us out. That's philsgang.com or give us a call 877-600-4264.
I love your honesty. Glad to say I'm doing very, very well. Thanks to Phil. I now have become a consistent, profitable trader.
I've been with you for about a month and a half now, and I'm already up 7%.
I'm so grateful that I found you and with you and your staff.
This year I'm up 60.
On top of the world, I finally feel like I got my master's degree in stock trading.
Well, I just want to tell you, thank you for giving my confidence back in trading.
I have learned more in this 2 months than I have in my years of doing all my different stuff, and I want to say thank you. Been with you a long, long time. Done really well with you. I think what you're doing is extreme. Financial education is, in many respects, the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
For more information on the philsgang.com, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Again, that's 877-600-4264.
Every single one of his medical bills, everything is just all up.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes.
At St. Jude, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
It's clear the real undisputed champion in social and financial talk is Phil Grande and the Phil's Gang Show.
You know, Obama got the last laugh because another fantastic jobs report came out.
The last laugh is on you, Bill. Think about that. 32,000 jobs created. How about this? We lost 252,000 full-time jobs to get those 232,000 jobs. And worse, we gained 430,000 lousy part-time jobs, mostly minimum wage. No, the last laugh is on you.
Only Phil Grande delivers business and financial news with an insider's perspective on Wall Street and the economy.
You're going to keep trying to push these banks higher, offset what's going on. And the earnings are all driven by, of course, stock buybacks. So you got all this stuff going on, which makes for a perfect storm.
That's the one and only Phil Grande and the Phil's Gang Show.
Join me weekdays at 3 p.m. for the best in social and financial talk. That's weekdays every day at 3 p.m. here on philsgang.com. What makes investors around the world successful? They're savvy. They do their homework. They look for the best value, and they find it at Interactive Brokers. Phil's Gang chooses Interactive Brokers, stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, and worldwide from one account. I recommend Interactive Brokers. My Phil's Gang members, check them out. Go to philsgang.com and click on the Interactive Brokers graphic. And that's philsgang.com.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by the Phil's Gang Video Channel.com.
The hospitals have effectively been given a license to monopolize the local markets. And what's happening right now, if you look at healthcare inflation, prices are going up. Healthcare costs to consumers have not gone up. Health insurance costs haven't gone up because the plans are being hollowed out. So you're basically getting less healthcare for higher prices right now.
That's how they're doing it. They're taking out your benefits. But overall, healthcare insurance is going up. There's big inflation, and that's why the bond market getting killed. Because you were told, oh, get in the bond market, everything's fine, don't worry about it. Inflation's not going to go up for years. Now inflation's going up. The 10-year Treasury just hit a 6-month high. That means that we are paying interest rates instead of 1.4%. The government's now paying 2.4% interest, and that's a killer. That's a killer. Okay, I want to talk about how they knew that this economy would get hurt badly, but they didn't care. They didn't care. Remember, earnings come from revenues. Profits come from revenues. They knew, putting this Obamacare through, that these 8.7 million people would kill the economy for 300 million people, kill the economy for 247 million people in the workforce, would kill and put pressure on the people, the 88 million people who do have health care, who are the ones that are picking up the subsidies for those 8.7 million people. That is a ripoff. 87 million of us are picking up the insurance for these 8.7. Now, here's what they knew, including Pelosi, and Reid, that the subsidies would not live up to the expectations because the subsidies do not, by themselves, hold down the overall cost of insurance. Remember they kept telling us how we're going to save money, save money? No. They knew they were lying. They knew what they were preaching, what they were pitching, that would never live up to those expectations. They knew that. They were lying. When they said the premiums were going to go down $2,500 per person, they knew they were lying. They knew the premiums were going to go up $2,500 or more. And that's why they wanted to pass it before anybody read the bill, just like the Trans-Pacific Treaty. Same thing. They knew something even worse with Obamacare. It would give the large employers like Staples and the rest of these Lowe's, these big companies, they could drop their employees, they could drop the amount of time, they could drop them to part-time and save on their insurance. So they knew by taking all these employees and from full-time to part-time would kill the economy, would hurt the economy, would hurt what? Earnings, hurt profits. Remember, our earnings come from, and if these people aren't working, we don't have revenues, we don't have top-line sales in our companies. And that means that stocks don't go up. That's what it means. So they knew that 28 million people would lose their full-time status with this bill. But they didn't care. It's all about Obama's legacy. It's all about socialism. Getting socialism, your foot in the door. You do it through health care. Now, Gruber and Obama, they both know, and they both knew, that Obamacare was a disincentive to work because no longer did you have to go out and get a job to provide yourself with health care. Because now, under Obamacare, you could quit your job, go to the exchange, and you and I, the 87 million of us, would pay for the 8.7 million people. So they didn't have to work. They could leave the building, give people the bird, say, I don't need you anymore. Go to the exchange, get my insurance for almost nothing, and I'll stay home and eat Twinkies and play the piano. They knew this. They knew this bill was going to disincentivize work, but yet they still passed it. They knew Obamacare would not just hurt jobs, but would hurt our GDP economic growth, our economic growth. They knew this country could not grow economically. We couldn't compete with the rest of the world if we put this bill in. Because there are going to be fewer full-time, high-paying jobs. All those jobs are going to be replaced by low wages and low-paying jobs, which means that revenues would contract. Because when people go to the stores, they're not going to buy as much. And earnings come from revenues. And if you have good earnings, you get good stock power. And that means your 401k would go up, all your stocks would go up. But they knew that when they knew revenues were going to contract. Earnings come from revenues. And because revenues would shrink, so would the stock prices. So they needed to mask. They needed this. They needed to mask these losses in these revenues. They didn't want you to know when they were selling this Obamacare. So they decided to use QE. Because soon they found earnings were contracting due to a zero increase in revenues, top-line sales of companies in sectors that were our best sectors. Energy, which we get 40% of our employees. 40% of our employees, and these are the jobs. Construction, mining, manufacturing, all high-paying jobs. They knew before they passed the bill. And then they finally saw it. They saw it coming. Corporate earnings were contracting. Zero. We weren't companies after company report, they were not selling any more goods than did the previous quarter, than did the previous year. Soon, the best indicator that showed how things were getting bad The best indicator of the economy was durable goods. Those are those are TVs, appliances, the big things that last for 6-7 years. Those were dropping like a flying crowbar. So why would they do all this? It's his legacy. However, what did we see, though? We were all shocked. We were all surprised. The S&P 500 companies, the earnings were going up. How could this be? The revenues growth were at zero every quarter. Companies like GE, companies like Walmart, all these companies, their revenues growth weren't going. Revenues weren't growing because there wasn't enough full-time jobs. There wasn't enough overtime. People weren't working overtime. In fact, more than 68% of the S&P 500 companies all had zero revenue growth. No revenue growth, no sales, no top-line sales. They just stayed the same. But earnings were increasing by 9.1%, and stocks were going up 30% a year. How the hell could that be? CNBC comes on. Their idiot, Steve Leisman, that dope. Oh, it's efficiency. Companies have such great efficiency. Everybody was talking about great efficiency, cutting overhead, firing people. Of course, there's some efficiency. We know that. But wait a minute. Not enough efficiency to justify an increase in earnings by 9% when revenues dropped to net zero. Are you kidding? And remember, when revenues drop to net zero, stock prices are supposed to go down because you don't have revenues, don't have earnings, you have stock price. But stock prices were going up 30% a year. For 6 years, this has been going on. Why? It was the scam of the buyback. It was the accounting scam. Obama and Gruber knew that they asked this worsening economy so we wouldn't see it, so that they knew they were going to plan to move the stock market up artificially 30% every year and show fake earnings of an increase of 9% a year through QE. But there was a problem. The scam, instead of the $1.8 trillion in profits and borrowed money flowing through the economy in way of small business investment, in forms of higher wages, increased investments in plants and equipment and jobs, didn't go there. So we weren't creating jobs. We weren't buying equipment. Companies aren't buying equipment. Companies aren't investing. So this was so negative. Now we saw in this quarter, what was our growth this quarter? Negative, no growth. So what does this all mean? I'll tell you when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
$12 million to create a green job? What are you, nuts? That's what it cost. $12 million for one green job. 2,298 green jobs were created under Obama during his crony capitalism days. That is insane. He promised 5 million new green jobs. 26 billion gone. Join my gang so you know which stocks to buy.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. A lot of people are afraid of the stock market after losing most of their money in the different crashes. But now you don't have to be fearful because we have technology when the markets are ready to collapse. That's right, the PT2. I designed it so that we get information in advance of any correction, the smallest correction to the largest correction. Get my PT2. Make sure this time when you are investing that you have safety on your side.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. A lot of people are afraid of the stock market after losing most of their money in the different crashes. But now you don't have to be fearful because we have technology that will tell you when the markets are ready to collapse. That's right, the PT2. I designed it so that we get information in advance of any correction, the smallest correction. Get my PT2. Make sure this time when you are investing that you have safety on your side.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. Professional traders and investors know that Interactive Brokers provides the edge they need in today's markets. Low commissions and financing rates, along with best price execution and a focus on advanced trading technology and low costs that help maximize returns. At Interactive Brokers, not only do professional traders and investors get direct market access to stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, and funds on over 100 markets in 23 countries from a single IB universal account. They also benefit from a wide array of advanced trading technology, from extensive options trading tools to sophisticated risk management and much more. Keep a pulse on daily market activity with commentary with IB's Traders Insight. Market analysis from professional traders in the industry directly to your screen. Visit us at interactivebrokers.com to learn more about these offerings. Interactivebrokers.com. Interactive Brokers, member SIPC. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Here at Phil's Gang, we understand the ghosts of 2008 and 2009 hang over all investors. In a recent banking analyst report, studies show the reason people are not investing in the stock market is a greater need for financial education. At Phil's Gang, we are your #1 provider of financial investing education techniques. For over a decade, Phil Grande has been coaching, guiding, build a successful trading plan for any time frame, from current income to retirement security.
I think what you're doing is extremely important. People don't realize this, but financial education is in many respects the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
Build your investment confidence with Phil's Gang today with daily webinars, alerts, and educational videos. And all material is archived for your convenience. Put the investment ghosts in the past and start investing with Phil Grande and Phil's Gang today. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. So here's what this means to you. You need to retire. You have a lifestyle. Whatever lifestyle you're living right now, you want that same lifestyle, don't you, when you retire? But understand this, what happened yesterday with this justice telling us we got to eat this Obamacare. In the last 6 years, the way this market's been going up 30% a year has been a scam. As I told you, earnings comes from sales. Earnings come from revenues. Well, they know going forward now, we're not going to get the revenues or the sales that we need to get the profits to push the stock market up. So what they did in the years is they played a game, an accounting trick. They would go in and they would provide money to companies, and companies would take their profits. They would take their profits, all their profits, and they would buy their own shares. By buying their own shares, that meant that there would be less shares, and therefore your earnings per share would increase. And your stock price increases without any sales or revenue increase. So we keep on going up, but now the gig is up. We're going up 30% a year. Now people are starting to figure it out. The big investors. Here we are, 6 years later, and the market has stopped. So what we've got to do now, when you stop and you see the scam, they kept purchasing their own stocks because they didn't have the revenues to fudge the earnings to go up. Remember, your earnings go up on the amount of sales you have. Well, if you're doing $1,000 in sales a week and it goes down to nothing, how does your earnings keep going up? Well, they don't. So your stock doesn't go up. So what Obama and Grover did, knowing that their Obamacare would hurt revenues because people don't have the jobs and are not making the money they used to have. So they put in this scam that will just pump money, print money, give it to the companies so they can buy their own shares, have less shares, and their stock will keep going up. But they can't keep printing money forever. You hear Ron Paul say that. They can't do this forever. Now we're at a point that the stock market value is so overvalued, and that's why you see the stock market has stalled here, because the big institutions, they've gone on a strike because they're saying, wait a minute, you're 21, you have a PE ratio on the S&P 521, but your GDP, you're only growing at 2%. You're growing 2% a year, but you're saying you have a value of 21% on your market. The math doesn't work. So to have the 2%, to justify it, you got to bring that value back down from 21 down to 16. That is a 20% correction. That is going to happen. The only way they can stop that from happening is to do QE again, come back in again, and start buying the bonds to reduce the bond yields all the way back down to 1.4 and play the whole game. But the problem with that whole QE, it didn't work. The economy didn't grow. All that grew were the pockets of the small segment of the population, 10% of the population who has all the stocks. That's what it benefited. 90% of the people, they have not benefited nothing. They're worse off now than they were 6 years ago. So what do? When this market contracts, and it will, there's no way you're going to stop it, because there is no way they're going to do what is right. I could come in here, president, for 8 weeks, I could turn this thing around. The first thing we do is start with capital gains. We'd cut the capital gains tax down to nothing. That would get a lot of people to invest. Obama doubled the capital gains tax. You reduce it down to nothing. And then what you do is you take all your taxes, reduce those taxes, reduce the taxes, put all kinds of incentives in for the small business to start investing. Soon, we would start with investment comes first. And then after that investment, as long as you had low taxes and you had incentives, then all of a sudden the economy would start growing. And then people would start making money. And then people would have overtime again. People would have full-time work again. Then all of a sudden your economy is growing. Your GDP's at 2%, then 3%, then 5%. Instead of 200,000 jobs at 2% every month, you're going to be at 3% with 300,000. Then you get to 4%, you're going to have 500,000 jobs. By the time you hit 7%, you're going to be creating every month 700,000 jobs a month, because you did it right. You did it through investment, not through a scam of accounting. So they're never going to do that. Going to do that because why? Because he's a leftist. He's a socialist, and socialist starts with medicine. You heard that from Reagan. He's told that over and over. So here's what I want you to do. You got to start changing the way you think. Go to my site right now, philsgang.com, and check where it says watch live. You got to see this. If I can't convince you of this, I don't know what to do. On my chart, my PT2 chart, you see when it turned green? From green to red, Packard. When it turned red at $33, and we had a confirmation of a crossover, it went from $33 down to $30. Hewlett-Packard, that meant that was a drop of 9%, but it's not a drop, because for us, we'd be making money on the way down. That's a 9% return. Is that easy? That easy. And when you start out shorting it, let's say at $33, you put a stop in and say, well, if it goes up against me for $34, I want to be out. So you set up how much your risk is. I'll show you. Same thing. This is what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Let's just take Panera Bread. This has been a hot stock. Now, if you're in Panera Bread right now, if you were a gang member, you would know to be out. Look, it just went from, and it just dropped what? It just dropped what? 4% in the last 5-6 days. 4%. But you would have known. You would have known. So, but better than being out of the stock, you'd have been shorting the stock. We're going to have a lot of stocks going down. This works. And also, of course, on the other side, Morgan Stanley. For my gang members that own Morgan Stanley, look at this. It turned red to green. When and you have your crossover, you buy. And Morgan Stanley went up what? 12. We went up about 11%. 11% return. But here's the nice thing: when they're going to pull their money out, it'll turn red, and we can make a decision: take our money, put it in our pocket, or short it and make it on the way down. My point to you is this: there is no. You should be sitting there in the dark. And because you've been sitting in the dark because you lost all your money in your 401k in 2008, you trusted these planners in the bond market. Now you're getting your face ripped off. Go back to any of my old tapes. You'll hear me say, don't go into the bond market. You're going to get killed. Don't go in the bond market. Now the bond market is you're getting killed because the interest rates are going up. Why? Because there's inflation. Why? Because you got the Fed out there every day and Obama telling you what? The economy's doing terrific.
Everything that I've done has been designed to, number one, stabilize the economy.
Yeah, right. Give me a break.
Companies are investing, consumers are spending.
None of that is true. But they say that just like the Obamacare, they say we could keep our doctor, we could keep everything, right? Our doctor, we could keep our health care. And just like what he's saying now is not true. And he knew that when he started Obamacare, and he knew that he had to do something to mask the failing economy. And nobody saw that for 6 years. For 6 years, nobody saw it. You see it because the stock, all you knew, the stock market was going up every year 30%. But what you didn't know, it wasn't going up. What you didn't know is they were buying their own shares. The Federal Reserve was printing money to give to the big company to buy their own shares. They had less shares that forced their earnings up, forced their stock up. But now we're at a point it's not working anymore. That's why I'm saying to you, join the gang. Because if you at least join me, at least when we do have a 20% correction, which you're going to get a 20% correction because you can't possibly have a value on this stock market, a PE of 21, when it's only worth 16. You can't have an economic growth of 2% a year that supports a stock market value of 21. What, are you nuts? What, are you kidding? That's incredible. That's like you buying a Rolls Royce for $100,000 and you're working at McDonald's and you're making $10,000 a year. It's the same thing. Could you support that Rolls Royce? Thing with the stock market. But with me, you got an alternative. Join my gang, Phil's gang. Have a great weekend, safe weekend, and join my gang over the weekend.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. It's clear the real undisputed